It's 9 o'clock! It's a Saturday morning. Oh yes, that means only one thing. It's time for the Monster Magic Saturday Show! Let's do this!
Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. Feel the sun shining for your eyes.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Good morning. I hope you have all had a fantastic week. This one has flown by for me. Been super busy because of one particular trick, which I will come to later. I'm not going to do it first because you'll watch the review and then turn off, and there's a couple of other tricks that I'd like to show you first, or maybe one trick I'd like to show you first. I'll show you a trick I think that has been overlooked, probably because of all of the fanfare over what is Demid Deck by Angelo Carbone. So let me first of all talk about Ladybug by Joshua Ray. This is a dinky little 3-card packet trick along the lines of the Web by Jim Prace all those years ago, and My Pet Boris, which was the spider trick. And the difference with those is those tricks make you jump. They're perfect for Halloween. Go and check out My Pet Boris or the Web if you want some tricks for Halloween. This turns it into a more charming, child-friendly trick. Although I will say, I spoke to Stephen Bargatsky once at a magic convention, and he said if you can make someone jump, then do it. Which is why things like the levitation device by Jerry O'Connell that's sold by Prop Dog is such a big hit. If you make people jump, they have this jump, this fear, and then they just laugh, and it is hilarious. This doesn't get that big a laugh. It's got more charm than that, and so it's ideal perhaps for younger children. And so if you are a worker or you have young children around or you've got kids, this is brilliant. What you do is you show 3 cards with pictures of a log on, and you turn them over, and underneath there is a ladybird or a ladybug, a picture of a ladybug. In England we call them ladybirds. So you turn over one and show it's got a ladybird on it, put that in the hand, and you deal the cards down. And then one of the bugs disappears from the cards, and they wave their hand to try and find it. And lo and behold, the ladybird is on the back of their hand. It is very easy, very easy to do. It takes up very little pocket space. Comes with these charming little wooden ladybirds that are apparently all hand painted. So you can give them away. There are plenty in here, and the trick is cheap enough for you to give these away and just really rebuy the whole trick. So you get a fair few in there. I think it looks about 20 or so. And that's what appears on the back of the child's hand. You can do it for adults, of course. And these are the cards, which are, of course, they're very nicely printed, and they're very clear what they are. Perfect for the trick. And it's a really nice, easy to do, charming piece of magic. It doesn't take up much space, so even if you're not a children's magician, I mean, this is ideal for children's magicians before, you know, when you set up and you're waiting to go on, you might have some kids badgering you. Perfect for that. Perfect if you're doing weddings where the children might be around, anything like that. And you can keep this very easily in your case or about your person in a pocket. It doesn't take up very much space at all, just in case you do have a child come along. It's great. It's really good. Let me tell you how much it is. It's $16.99, so it's not a massive investment. And like I say, if you are going to give the ladybugs away, it'll probably cost you, less than £1 to do it each time if you're going to rebuy the whole trick. And there are various different methods and routines taught, and ways of getting into it, ways of loading the ladybird onto the child's hand. All of that is taught in great detail. They're really passionate about it. So Joshua Ray and Deuce Gala Magic. It's really nice how they encourage you to do this trick. They really believe in it, and that's so nice when you get that sense that they love what they've produced, and they've obviously clearly really enjoyed performing this trick, and you can see why. It's got great charm, it's fun. It's Lucky Ladybug, sorry, by Joshua Ray, Deuce Gala Magic. Okay, I can wait no longer. I know, I can hear you all waiting. It's time for Demid Deck by Angelo Carbone, or Carbone, I can't remember, he has told me once before. This is the trick that has gone absolutely bonkers, far more than any trick I've ever come across. You might say it's been hyped or it's been overhyped. For me, I think it was all sort of self-hype. I think people, you know, genuinely, the magic community hyped it themselves rather than any particular person or organization pushing it for sales. People just got really, really excited about it, and with very, very good reason. If you don't know the effect, it is basically you show a deck of cards, you can spread them, you can have them shuffled, clearly genuine deck of cards, you pop them into the case, and then you can thrust a blade through the middle of the cards, open up the case as if it was almost a sawing a lady in half illusion, close it back up, tip the cards out, and go on and do your favorite magic trick. It is amazing. So Angelo first showed me this quite a while ago now at the Magic Circle, and my jaw just hit the floor. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It looked genuinely impossible. It was absolutely, I mean, mind-blowing. I had no idea, completely floored. Yeah, so I do know Angelo. He is an acquaintance, and funny enough, I met him at the Magic Circle not that long ago. I was at a loose end, and Angelo very kindly came over, introduced himself, and asked me to join him at his table, which was absolutely lovely. And I encourage anybody, you know, that's the sort of behaviour at the Magic Circle that is really, really nice. And Angelo, I thank you very much for that, and for showing me this so early on. This is the case. This is what you get. I've got my cards in here so you can see that, you know, it is a genuine, ordinary deck of cards that you use. The case itself is not leather. It is actually just a sort of a plastic box that has some vegan leather glued onto it to give the illusion of a leather case. So no animals were harmed, just a few vegans, which is fine. And so from that point of view, I kind of wish the case was probably sort of stitched leather if I was being really, really fussy about the appearance of it. But actually, it does fly, and it probably keeps the cost down. And that's just me wanting a much more beautiful prop for not very much more money. And the illusion that you get is brilliant. There have been lots and lots of people doing it on YouTube and social media already. I'm not going to do it here now because I'm not sure of this camera angle. To be honest, I've practiced it standing up, doing it in front of the mirror and doing it in front of people. But I'm not a social media wizard, and I don't know how how that camera is looking at this. And I don't want to keep getting up, checking it, redoing it again and editing it. It'd be a complete and utter nightmare for me. I've performed this for quite a few people now, and they've all had exactly the same reaction as me, which is this sort of stunned, open mouth gasp that you cannot believe what you are seeing. It's an absolute work of genius. And the fact that it's so easy to do and very, very forgiving. If you're performing this for a couple of people in front of you, they can, doesn't matter. You don't really have to worry about how close they are or anything else. You have this freedom that they can almost see. It feels like they can almost see 360 round it. Actually, they can't. But what is brilliant about the illusion is that you have this here, this gap at the bottom, which really, really sells it, and is something that you probably should concentrate on if you're ever going to perform it. And I'm sure lots and lots of you will. I think everyone who buys it will perform it. It is this gap here, because then when you open this up, you have nothing underneath, nothing around, and they can see nothing behind. It really is perfect illusion from straight on. Absolutely amazing. Angelo talks, he talks about the angles. He gives you several variations of handlings to deal with different situations that you might be in. But I want to talk about the angles. Let me talk about the angles because that is probably your big discussion point here. The real problem is you can't have anyone at the side. So you can genuinely, you can do this really close up to people in front of you. As soon as they start encroaching on the side, you'll start having angle concern. And you can get around that. So Angelo teaches various handlings that sort that out. So you can, instead you can open the box from this way and so on. But the problem with all of those solutions is you lose this gap here. You lose this space. You end up covering far too much and almost cradling the deck at times. And I don't like that. So although you could argue you can do it with people slightly on the periphery and get away with it, it's not the best sell of the illusion. I know there is a video of Javier showing that it can be done 180 on photos, and the thing about that is you can do it 180 if your person is quite short. So if you notice on that video, the camera is chest height. So if someone only comes up, if their eyes are only at your chest, you can do what Javier did. But remember, he has a person standing in front and then they move round to the side. If you have someone standing in front of you and standing at the side, you try and do this trick, it's not going to work. You're gonna give it away. You're gonna flash. Unfortunately, I have tried and tried and tried, and I'm afraid, in my opinion, it cannot be done 180 surrounded, unless you end up doing it in this sort of really funny angle where you can barely see anything. I haven't been able to do it. So really, this trick is absolutely phenomenal with people directly in front of you or in a parlor situation. Brilliant for parlor. If you've got your audience, you've got your table, bring out the deck, you can cut it because of the angles that you would have, even if someone's sitting there on the sides. Because of the angles, you will be fine. But the best bit really is just doing this one-on-one or just to a few people in front of you, and you will have so much fun. And the really interesting thing is that they grab the cards. They're not the least bit interested in this leather case, which doesn't look, maybe I've got used to it, but it doesn't look that odd. It looks like something you might carry your cards in. If you're a magician, I mean, we carry odd things around, don't we? And so just the way people do it, and they grab the cards, they are in utter disbelief. It is truly great. The tutorial has Angelo on it. He does 3 different various handlings. You also have Javier, who really is becoming quite a golden boy of magic in my work. And he shows a handling as well. He hammers home some of the tips that people have sort of missed earlier. Angelo, very passionate about this project. Saw some people doing it on the social media sites, and decided that they weren't quite following everything to the T. And really, that's all about making this space here and not having it flat in the palm of your hand. It really does. So that is, it is a brilliant sell of the illusion. And Angelo was so passionate about that. So you have Javier reiterating that. And then you have some card routines as well, which is really nice. I thought when Angelo first showed it to me, it was simply just a way of introducing a deck of cards, doing something quirky that people aren't going to believe their eyes with, and then going into a card trick. But there are various card tricks taught, and there's a bonus one by David Regal as well, which is a little bit like his pasteboard massacre on there as well. And there's no Craig Petty. What can I say about it? It's 55 £54.99 or £56 in the UK. It's probably pretty much virtually sold out now. So it is a really, really nice thing. For me, personally, it is something I'd have in my house for when someone comes round, and I can just show them for a massive kick of fun. I probably wouldn't do it walk around, because the situations, it's very tricky to know exactly when you're going to use it, and it's probably too much for me to carry around in a walk around case. For parlour, 100% I'd do it. You do get the gimmicks for the tricks that are taught as well. You have Angelo talking about a few tips and a few hints. To be honest, I have struggled to put it down. I've been practicing in front of the mirror, been showing everyone I meet, you know, putting the blade through, pulling it apart, closing it up, and having them, and they just want to watching them grab the cards and inspect them is so much fun. Much like I'd love to grab a woman after she's been cut in half, I suppose. Absolutely terrific. I really, really, really like it. It is deceptively simple to do, but you do need to watch the tutorial, as Angelo explains, to get the most out of it. It is important, and really it's just practicing, making sure that you're doing the correct handling and not being lazy. That is all it is. It won't take you long. It's not hard to practice. It's just not jumping in and thinking you know exactly everything about it and you don't need to watch the tutorial. I really, really like it. I think it is one of the best products I've seen in a really, really long time. It's not a worker in my book, but it is a genuine piece of fantastic magic that if you've got the right situation, you will love before. And that is Demid Deck by Angelo Carbone. And now we've got probably the next big, most exciting release this week, which has only come out yesterday, which is Stickman Bob. The return of Stickman Bob. If you didn't know who Stickman Bob is, this isn't the return, is it? It's just Stickman Bob. But Kieron Johnson is an amazing magic creator. He was really big in sort of like 2017, I think, when Stickman Bob first came out. And he had Penguin Lecture and everything else. He sort of, I think he's gone off into bubbles at the moment. But Stickman Bob by Kieron Johnson was one of the greatest bits of fun, theatrical, close-up magic you can buy, for sure. Back in 2017, it was a massive hit. And what's happened now is that it's just been repackaged with new gimmicks and a new cannon. So you've got a nice new cannon. Let me show you. So the trick is you have a card selected, signed, and lost in the deck. You then bring out the cannon. You introduce the cannon, and you introduce Bob, which you draw a stick man on a piece of flash paper, and he becomes a human cannonball. You pop him into the cannon, you fire the cannon at the case, and Bob goes through all of the cards and ends up on the back of your selection. It is terrific. It is an amazing piece of theatre, and it uses these great props, and I love bringing out a prop. I think it just creates lots of intention and different focus. I really do love prop heavy magic, and the cannon's great. The tutorial is sort of split up into old videos and new videos. So you have Mark Travisoni running through what's new in the box, and then you have the old videos of sort of Kieron teaching you how to do the trick, how to set it all up. You also have Jamie Raven on here, who performed this on TV. Jamie Raven came second to a dog on Britain's Got Talent a few moons ago. He runs through his handling of it as well. So you've got different presentations, slightly different presentations, but different handlings for it, all on there. And then you've got details of how to prepare the gimmicks and so on. It's all sort of chaptered in various different videos of various different ages, so you can flip back in time, back into the 2010s if you really want to. The actual card magic bit is very, very easy, basic card sleights required, but that's all, and they are taught, and there are various sort of cheaty ways of doing it with gimmicks and so on. And then you just have the flash paper loading the cannon and just, you know, hamming it all up and enjoying. So it's like a little bit of circus on the table. It is a great sort of, you know, 6 minutes of fun card magic that your audience are just going to be, you know, their brains are fizzing around going, this guy's a little bit nuts, but I'll go with it as the cannon and everything else is brought out. So this is the cannon. You do get told how you can modify this if you want to. So the wheels currently spin. You can stop them spinning and everything else. And it's, you know, just to stop it moving too much on the table. And then this is what really are the extras in here. You get the box. You get the card case already prepared, and you get the cards already prepared. So that saves you getting out your craft knife and everything else. And there's also a template in here that you use to make your gimmicks. This template didn't exist before. You used to have to sort of ruin your cards in order to make gimmicks. That's now here. This is sort of a very thin plywood. Oh, it's got that nice burnt wood smell though. Oh, that reminds me. Oh yeah, that's nice. So this will eventually, you know, this will burn if you're not too careful. But there you go. It's fine. You know, perhaps it might have been nice if they'd made a metal one, perhaps. And you know, but there you go. It's absolutely fine for what you've got to do. And like I say, you can always use one of the cards if you lose this or if anything happens to it. I believe these spares are available and so on. The only thing you don't get in here is the flash products that are required for the trick. So you really want a back of a box flash card, bit of flash paper with the back of the box printed on it. Basically, you can do that yourself on an inkjet printer if you like. Just get a image, just Google an image for the back of a bicycle deck card, and then just get some flash paper. And what I normally do is I normally get some spray mount, and I stick the flash paper onto a piece of paper and run that through my inkjet printer. Don't use a laser printer for obvious reasons. And you're good to go. The rest of it is all just physics of loading the cannon and everything else. Just have a lot of fun with it. When that cannon, you know, when you light it, you get the flash paper. Everyone knows how exciting sparkling flash paper burning down is. You get the joy of the fuse. You could use string or something else if you really want to make it look more like a fuse. And then the fact that Bob sort of fires out, you get this big flash, get at the burn on the back of the card box is great. I love that bit when it burns down and then they see that he's gone through all of the cards and he's found your card. It is amazing theatre. It's bringing the big top circus tent to your table. I can't encourage enough people to do it. I mean, obviously it fits your style. If you're a mentalist, probably not. I was doing this a lot 6 years ago. I really liked it then. I'm pleased it's back. I had sort of slightly forgotten about it. So that is really nice. It's great. You're almost good to go. Just remember to get some flash paper. And it's terrific. I'm really pleased that it's back out there. It is a lot of fun. It is quirky genius. Well done, Kieron. I hope you're well, and thanks very much for creating Stickman Bob. So that's Stickman Bob. It is incredibly, it is just $36.99. And now we have Dig It by Iain Bailey. This was released this week, and it's a lot of fun. I do tease Iain. Iain showed me this at Blackpool last year. Oh no, this year, wasn't it? I'm supposed January this year, February this year. What am I talking about? And it was just merely a concept back then. and I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh, it made me smile, and I think my exact words were, "It's great, but it's a bit shit." It's it's basically a card trick based on the old spade gag. You have 2 cards selected and they are lost in the deck in a mixy shuffle way. You might do a bit of mind reading on the first participant to divine their card, and you then turn to the second participant and say, "I will find your card." You turn over the 3 of spades and they say that it's close but it's not quite right. You go, oh, was it the 2 of spades? There's one too many spades. And then you pull out this charming, lovely, quirky spade, which is a big surprise, gets a big smile. And then you do a short little routine where the first chosen card appears on the spade. It is really good. When Iain showed it to me, it didn't have the revelation on the spade. That's a development. You get the gimmicks which sort of hide in plain sight within the deck, and that sort of set of gimmicks simply hold the spade within the deck, hidden really well within plain sight. It's a really neat little sort of gimmick idea, not complicated, probably a pain to make genuinely, but works really well, and is ideal for the trick. And of course you get the spade. Now this is 3D printed and painted, but it's lovely. It looks like a genuine spade. It is great. The yellow will stand out of contrast, as Iain explains, and you've got a sort of mixed handle so everyone can see it, and it's really going to stand out against your clothing nicely. It's a great trick, and the removal of the spade from the card is fun. It's a joke, obviously, that we all know, but the layperson doesn't. So I really like it. I just think having this, it was originally it's a bigger trick, wasn't it? So it's sort of bringing what used to be a sort of stage gag into close-up. The handling is really easy. Iain runs through everything from a simple DL, can I call it a DL? Simple card slot like that, something everyone should know. You can skip over that chapter if you want. He then covers a false shuffle. He covers the forcing of it. He even teaches ways of doing it without the sort of the gimmick block, the sort of spade holder, if you want to. So you don't necessarily have to have a deck sort of set up for it. You just need to have the spade on you. And this spade really is a great versatile gimmick. Iain then says that a bonus effect at the end, he does a version of Dropsy Diddle by Eddie Fields, and that is fine. But this, I'm going to talk a little bit about that trick in a minute, and it does work really well from that. If you're not familiar with that Eddie Fields effect, then think along the idea of Lucky Coin, Ultra Lucky Coin by Eric Tate, stuff like that. Basically the spade will find the spectator's card, they put it down on any card, and you say that their card's underneath. It is a great trick, is Dropsy Diddle, and so is Ultra Lucky Coin, and doing it with this spade makes a lot of sense. You're going to carry it around. It's quite good fun to get 2 tricks out of it if you want to, so you can vary it from table to table. The tutorial, let me just say, the tutorial is an hour long. Iain covers everything. He really does enjoy performing this, and you can see why. It is good fun card magic, possibly not the hardest hitting. He even goes into a bit of the mind reading and just explaining that you need to keep it a little bit upbeat, because let's face it, this isn't the strongest piece of card mentalism magic. If you want, make it nice and snappy, because that's got to be your style for this trick. Can you dig it? Oh yeah. Can you dig it? Now I want to talk about Dropsy Diddle, because it is in the greater artful dodges of Eddie Fields, and the original trick. This is why I'm so passionate about people going back and reading the original tricks, because it has been watered down now since Eddie used to do it. Eddie was a great character, a great bar magician, and he used to do it. So he'd have the first of all, the cards would be mixed face up and face down, and he would find a chosen card using the Waikiki location, which is very good. And he would find a chosen card by dropping a coin on that card, and it'd turn over and it would be their selected card. He would then tell the participant that they're going to do the same. So he writes all the cards. He has them select a card. Let's just say, because it's an example in the book, they choose the Queen of Spades. The Queen of Spades is then lost in the deck. The deck's placed face up and face down again and spread. And he gives them the coin, and he goes, now which, and the Queen of Spades is face up at this point, and he asks them to put the coin on any face down card, and it will be their selected card. Obviously, they think they can't lose. Money is exchanged hands, big betting, notes and bills are thrown on the table as they put it on what they believe in a different card, because their Queen of Spades is clearly face up. And then he turns over the coin to show that there's a little miniature card stuck on the back of the coin. I think that is an amazing presentation. It's been watered down. If you're going to do it, if you're not going to buy one of the tricks out there like Ultra Lucky Coin, then I strongly advise just getting a piece of paper, printing a little miniature card, sticking it at the bottom of a coin, and doing the original Dropsy Diddle by Eddie Fields. Whew, that's it for another show for another week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any tips or hints, just leave tips or hints. Please just leave them in the comments below. Please like it. I get obsessed with the thumbs up to views ratio like you wouldn't believe. And if you haven't subscribed and you don't want to miss next week's show, please do subscribe. Again, I watch those numbers slowly creeping up, and there's a slim chance I might reach 700 before Christmas. But the weather seems to have left us, so what I suggest is please just invite some friends round to your house, either for drinks, nibbles, dinner or lunch, crack open some magic and have some fun with the best hobby in the world. Bye-bye.